Hey guys, welcome to Confessions of a High and Functioning Autistic Guy. Today, I'm going to rant about the parent hate and the parent shaming in the autism community. There's a lot of adults with autism out there who are very aggressive. They bully a lot of individuals. They're against a lot of things, but they don't have any solutions to what they're against. It's a lot of talk, it's a lot of negative talk, but nothing backing it up. And one of the things that frustrates me more than anything is the hate and the shame some autistic individuals put on parents, especially like parents who try to put their young kids in ABA therapy. And there's this anti-ABA movement. But ABA is used throughout the course of our days for everybody. It's basic human social skills. It's how to act decently, right? It's how to function in a society. Obviously, ABA can be used like anything in a very bad way, and there are some BCBAs out there who are very strict in the ABA curriculum, and that needs to change. But there's a lot of voices out there who are just totally anti-ABA, but they don't realize they were brought up the way they are now is through ABA, right? It's all about reinforcement. ABA exists in society, whether you like it or not, it's an inherent part of our being in society. It's reinforcement for certain behaviors, antecedent behavior consequence, right? ABC. So you can't get away from ABA. It's a basic part of just human conditioning in society. So to say you're anti-ABA is like saying you're anti-socialization. Well, in that case, just, go live in the forest if you don't like it, right? Or at least give us a solution on how to make things better, but don't just shame it. And I'm getting kind of off track here because I was going to talk about parent shaming. Man, it's like, what did the parents do to deserve all the shit they take? I keep talking to a lot of parents whose kids are on the spectrum, whether they're young kids, teenagers, adults, and the parents, specifically the moms, are just afraid to speak up or to even ask because the adults with autism attack. They don't listen. And that boggles my mind because from my perspective as an adult on the spectrum, the one thing I ask from others is to listen to me. Listen to what I need, accommodate me. But then there's this whole adult autism community who says, I want accommodations, but no, I'm not going to accommodate you. And the arrogance is disgusting. And again, it just goes back to why I'm so tired of being associated with the word autism. I've been in arguments on Twitter with certain individuals who are loud voices in the actually autistic movement. And, some of the things they say, they just want to fight. They get off on it. And I'm not going to say they as if I'm talking about all of them, right? I'm talking about a few, and they're very prevalent voices in the autism community. But one person one time, I told her, you need to have an open mind. And it's like she responded by saying, if you have too much of an open mind, your brain will fall out. And it's little things like that, that kind of tendency to be passive aggressive and not move the conversation, the dialogue forward in any way. It's very arrogant, and it just is the biggest hindrance to progress in autism awareness and acceptance. But specifically the parent shaming. It's like that the parents didn't sign up. They didn't ask God, oh, please give me a kid with autism, right? It's a lot of work. And, these autistic adults, maybe, like Eileen Lamb from the Autism Cafe, she's one of the few rarities where she has autism, but she's also a mother to a severely autistic child. So she has the whole range of perspective. But for individuals, adults on the spectrum who aren't parents to autistic kids, what the fuck do they know about parenting an autistic kid? Just because maybe their parents treat them poorly or they think they did, they are going to generalize their own personal experience onto these parents that they meet online that they've never even met. And that stands against everything that goes against everything I stand for. So I'm going to just, to you, autism parents, you know what's best for your kid. Don't listen to all the noise. I'm scared to speak up too, which is, why I honestly just started doing these confessions videos, because I can't stop just being silent. I'm fed up. I'm pissed off. I'm really wishing I just wasn't affiliated with the autism community. But then there's a side of me that says, no, Russell, you have this platform and you know what the downsides of this community are, and you need to use your platform to shift the narrative. And so that's what I'm trying to do with these videos. Is I just want to tell you, autism parents, that you're doing the best you can. Like I said earlier, you didn't sign up for this. I can tell you, from my mom being my hero day in and day out for 30 years, uh, and seeing her struggle when I struggle, and then the guilt I feel from her struggling because of me, and then her feeling worse because she's seeing how guilty I feel, the family dynamics, the stress it takes on all members of the family. Again, I don't know what it's like to be a parent, let alone a parent to an autistic kid or young adult. But I just want to validate you, your hard work. You're trying your best. And I always say to parents, if you do something out of love, no matter what happens, if you do something out of love for your child, you can never go wrong. Things might not work out that well. That's life. But it's all about just trying your best and doing what you think is best at that moment. And if it turns out to not be the best thing, you learn, and you move on. So try. I just wish autism parents were appreciated. I think you all know that my least favorite month of the year is April, Autism Awareness Month. I despise it. So maybe we start a campaign where it's like, April or another month is like Autism Parent Month, a celebration of all the fucking work it takes to not only take care of your child with autism, but another child if you have another child, your self-care, your relationship with your spouse, your friends. There's that ripple effect. And again, so many adults on the spectrum who are just making all this noise on Twitter and Facebook, they don't get that. And again, I don't know why. They're very, again, frustrating because you can't talk to them. It's like talking to a snake. You're gonna get bit, and then you're not gonna want anything to do with it. So I just want to take this time to again reiterate, big picture, put it in perspective. You parents out there are doing a hell of a job, and it's not a very rewarding experience. There are times where it's very rewarding, right? But those are few and far between. A lot of it is struggle. A lot of it is stress. A lot of it is fear for your child's future. A lot of it is, how am I even going to pay for all these therapies and medications and resources? A lot of it is fighting for your kid, even after the diagnosis, just to get what he or she may need. And I just want to thank you as someone on the spectrum and someone whose mom fought for him day in and day out, who was my voice until I became strong enough and confident enough to use my voice. I want to thank you. If it wasn't for people like you out there or my mom, I wouldn't be who I am today. And it's all about compassion. And so if you guys ever need some advice or anything like that, reach out to me. I never fight. I will disagree with people. Gandhi said the first step towards progress is disagreement, right? But these days people don't like to disagree. They just fight. But disagreeing, it leads to constructive dialogue if we can accept the disagreement. But again, it's just uncalled for. And for those who bully others, for those with autism who bully others when You know, autistic kids tend to be bullied more than other populations, yet then these adults with autism tend to bully parents and ABA providers. That's fucking messed up, and the shit needs to stop. And so that's what I'm gonna leave it with, because like I said, I'm fed up. I don't want to be associated with these people. So that's my confessions of a high and functioning autistic guy. Thank you.